Hare Krishna and welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita class. We'll be discussing topic today for discussion is duty versus destiny. It is often debated and talked about topic on lunch tables, in families, in amongst friends, among relatives, everywhere. We practically see if some national event happens, and we debate this. So very relevant topic, and thank you all for joining. Will be a slightly longish session, and but we'll hold on. But think of questions relevant with your life, and let's discuss those towards the end. More than the, the presentation, the interesting part will be the discussion or the question answer that may follow after the class. The reason is this is relevant topic for all of us. We all keep thinking, are we really getting what we deserve? Are we do we really, are we supposed to get this? Is it are we getting sufficiently? Are we being rewarded sufficiently for our efforts? So there is always a question mark on what really goes through in our life, who is in real control of our life. And if we can pinpoint, looking at the different examples that we will discuss today, जो एग्जाम्पल्स हम डिस्कस करेंगे, अगर इफ यू कैन रिलेट विथ एनी ऑफ योर real life issue, real life problem, then we'll be happy to discuss. You can pose them as a matter of question. If it is too personal, we can discuss after the class as well. So with that, let's jump right into this very interesting, very relevant topic. Duty versus destiny. Duty sometimes also referred to as karma. So let's do a quick activity. There are two questions, two statements mentioned in the this thing. Want you all to go to your chat box and type yes if you believe in first statement, and if you believe in second statement, type no. And so, is everything in our control? Is everything in our control? Uh, what does modern science teach us? What does motivational speakers teach us? What do our, what has our family taught us? What our teachers teach us in schools? What our teachers taught us in colleges? What our MBA class taught us? What is reality? What is where we understand this? How do we understand this? Is everything in our control? Yes, nothing is in our control. That is another extreme reality that one may believe that nothing is in our control, and you may type then no. And yeah, so there are many answers I'm getting. So for those who have joined now, I think I see the count increasing. We're discussing, we just started. We're discussing, this is the first slide. I just want you to think about these two statements. Is everything in our control? Type yes. If you believe nothing is in our control, type no. And then when we are done, we'll proceed further. Okay, I think most of you have mentioned the answer. So let's move forward. A verse that we'll be discussing from Bhagavad Gita today is Karmanyevadhikaraste. The 2.47 verse, it says, goes like Karmanye iva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhu mate sangostva akarmani. Verse can be broken or divided into four parts. First is Karmanye iva adhikaraste, the first sentence, which means you have a right to perform your prescribed duty. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Now, next second line says Ma phaleshu kadachana, that but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. So you have a right to perform your duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Then the third line, Ma karma phala hetur bhur, is a very important line that says that never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities. Karma phala, ma karma phala. Karma phala is what we aspire for when we perform action. We want certain output, we want certain result, we expect certain results to be achieved. That is karma phala. There is a karma and there is a phala that we expect. Ma karma phala heturbhu. This verse says that never consider yourself the cause of the result of your actions. And last sentence says mate sangosva akarmani. So akarmani is also not an option. That never be attached not to do your work duty. So duty must be done. Don't think that I will not act and then I will be happy. No, no, duty has to be done. So on a similar similar or similar emphasis we see in the another verse called 2.33. अथ चेत्वम इमं धर्म्यम संग्रामम न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मम कीर्तिम च हित्वा पापम अवाप्स्यसि. Oh, Arjuna, Krishna is saying to Arjuna that Arjuna is you are refusing to fight the war. If, however, but if you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, you are a Kshatriya and your duty is to fight. Mother's duty is to take care of the child. Father duty is to maintain the home. So everyone, teacher's duty is to teach. Student duty is to study. All of us, whichever stage of life we might be in, we have certain duties. And a kshatriya duty is for fighting. Fighting for the righteous reason is the duty of a kshatriya. And even if he dies, he gets swarga. And even if he wins, he can enjoy. So, hato va prapsasi swargyam chitva va mokshase mahim. Means, even if you win, you get the kingdom. If you lose, you die, you get swarga. So, where is the loss? So, here Krishna is telling Arjuna that if you do not perform your religious duty of fighting as a kshatriya, then you will certainly incur sin, papam avapsasi, for neglecting your duty and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. So that is there is a clear warning given. Don't never give up your work, never give up your duty. And here another third verse, this is a third chapter 27th verse, which says that prakrutehe kriyamanani gane gune karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimoodatma kartahamiti manyate. It says that the spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of the false ego, think himself ahankara vimoodatma, the foolish, foolish soul, uh, himself consider himself to be the doer of activities which are actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. Vimoodatma, murkha, foolish, ahankara vimoodatma, that influenced by the false ego, one thinks himself as the doer. So I think I'm not the doer. I think I'm not supposed to I need to do, I need to do my activities, but I should not be expecting results. Um I should not stop acting because that can lead to me getting sinful reactions and I may lose my kirti, whatever I may have. I'm not Arjuna, but whatever self prestige that I have, even that can I can lose that. And I should not even consider myself to be the doer. This point is reiterated again. What is really happening? What is really the instruction? What is the net sum and substance of this? How do we understand this and how do we most importantly apply this in our life? ये शिक्षा क्या बता रहे हैं भगवान एग्जैक्टली बता क्या रहे हैं इसमें एंड हाउ कैन वी अप्लाई दिस इन आवर लाइफ? लेट्स take a look at that in a more with a more deep dive. So topic that we'll discuss is duty and destiny, the role of our duty and role of our destiny. The destiny role, the destiny is not directly mentioned in the 2.47th verse, but it is indirectly mentioned when Krishna says that you are not entitled to the results of your activities, which indicates in subtle way that there is somebody else involved in the results that you get. So this is the subtle message, but we'll try to decode it in a more explicit way, more expressive way. बहुत clearly उसका we'll try to look at it in more clear terms. Let's understand this by way of an example. Virendra Sehwag used to play for India. He's retired now, but he used to play for India. Was very aggressive batsman, and once he scored a double century against West Indies in a one day match. He scored triple centuries also in test matches, 5 day matches, but in a one day match, in a 50 over match, even century is considered to be very valuable. What to speak of double century? Single batsman, scoring double century was very rare, is very rare. So he scored a double century against West Indies. But while during the course of that inning, initially also he was dropped by he gave some chances and the fielders couldn't catch it. On 150, even around 150 when he was batting, he also lofted a ball and it went to the best fielder of the West Indian side, and he also dropped it. And then Sehwag, later in the interview, post-match interview, he got man of the match. India won the match. All that went fine, and then he said, very interesting. He said when that catch was dropped, when I was, two, three catches were dropped, and when he says seeing that happening, I knew that the God is on my side today. So I could do whatever I want. And God is on my side. So now every fielding side trained themselves very hard for, catching, which is catches win matches. They said we can't afford to lose drop catches because then, you will never win. And every side test team, one day team, they come to with an intention to win. So he said something very interesting. I knew today God was on my side in that interview, and that became the headline. Question is, does God really take sides in a cricket match? Does God takes sides in a cricket match? Sports is very we use example of sports very often because sports is very impact very it's a field where personal impact is considered to be the most valuable, most important. It's there everywhere, but sportsman, athlete, actors, professionals, there it is. It is they who what matters. They all have certain talents. They would have practiced with those talents and skills for years before they can come on top. They play for their nation, and it is they who are expected to perform. It is a doctor who's expected to perform surgery. So it's a very impactful profession, and there, we understand that each sportsman, they know that they have to work very hard to develop their skills, to develop and execute. They may have 100 plans and they have to work extremely hard for their maintaining their fitness, maintaining their skills, developing newer skills, newer shots, newer deliveries, trying very hard for increasing your physical fitness. Take diving catches, you can take sliding stops, and so on and so forth. So they know that there is no shortcut in profession. They have to work extremely hard, perform to succeed. They have to work hard to succeed. They can't afford to be lazy, can't afford to put on weight. So a lot of austerity they perform, and and they know that their team success depends on their success, and they have to perform. They have to work hard for performing well. Now that is one part. So their action, the emphasis on actions performed by sportsmen is unparalleled, undebatable. But each sportsman also realize and acknowledge that their performance or their action is not all that matters for them to get result. Their performance or their action is not all that matters for them to get the desired result can be Sehwag century, scoring a century or a double century, a bowler taking a lot of wickets, a fielder taking good catches, a team winning. So their performance is important, but it is not all that is important. There is something beyond their control which also shape the results which they get. This is true. And there is so the most sportsmen have their own superstitions, and using those superstitions they try to appease that unknown. Let's see what who does what. There used to be a batsman called Mark Taylor in Australian team. So he had a habit. He used to believe that if he used to go to when he used to be an opening batsman, and when he used to go out for bat, he used to make sure go to the visit the toilet and make sure that all toilet lids are closed, and then he used to step out for bat. And when he used to get out sometime very early, he would not come back to the pavilion, but he would go to the toilet just to see if did anybody kept the toilet lid open, and then he would blast his teammates. He was a captain for a long, long time. He believed that if the toilet lids in the stadium are closed, he would perform better. When they are kept open, uh, he would get out faster. Sachin Tendulkar, Indian batsman, had a habit of not speaking a word before about half an hour, 15 minutes before he would go out to bat. If someone come and speak with him, he would get annoyed, livid, assuming that now he's going to get out. It will not. His meditation, his trance is broken, and now he can't be successful. To that degree, he used to think that actually, that silence, uh, tying left pad first, these are the things that he used to do in order to make sure that whatever that unknown is actually work in his favor. It is striking to note that something beyond us determines our results. And we all at many times, directly indirectly, make an effort to try and control that unknown. A lot of people have their favorite shirts, favorite dress. So if you are going for an important interview, you would want to wear that particular shirt or particular dress so that you can do well. You believe that whenever you are you are wearing that, your best you, and you can perform to the best of your ability. So many ways in which we try and control that uncontrollable factor in our life, so that we hope that it work in our favor. In students, sometimes we study very hard, and sometimes the question paper is set in such a way that whatever we have left out, we would have studied, try and cover most of the syllabus, but whatever was left out, only question come on that part, and we don't do as well as we thought we should. Sometimes the other way thing happen. Sometimes we only prepare for two, three things, few things, and we leave out majority of the syllables for whatever reasons. But in the when you go to the exams, to our surprise, the questions asked, majority of the questions are asked only from the parts that we studied, and we actually end up doing well. So, so this is so there is something. So there is no we in life, we actually see that there is no one-to-one correlation in our action and our results. And we're trying to work out our own methods to understand what is that unknown factor which is influencing my results, and how I can control that. In different traditions, it's known as differently. The Western world call it predestined. Islam, it is known as kismat, and in Vedic literature, we this term is known as daiva or destiny. So human effort is always to try and control, what is not in our control, and science eventually became a tool in this war. Um, for example, eyes dwindle. The capacity of eyes to see. We when we are child, we grow, we are in your youth. We can see we can easily see anything and everything. But as we progress, our age progress to a beyond 30, beyond 35, 40, 50. By the time we come to 50, our natural capacity to see reduces. Could be various reasons, but eventually we end up wearing spectacles. But when there was a time when the spectacles were not um, they were not existent, then the people accepted the reality that my eyes are dwindling. I'm not able to see as efficiently as I used to. The small material I'm not able to, small text I'm not able to read. I'm not able to see beyond a particular distance. Earlier, I used to see lot far. Now I can only see up to a distance clearly. Beyond that, everything appears to be blur. So before chasma was invented, before chasma, this specs were invented, people accepted this as a reality and they were okay with it. However, there was always a effort to um, overcome this uh, the eyes dwindle. We don't really have any much control over there. But by inventing a chasma or a specs, we could overcome the natural deterioration that has happened to our eyes, and we can restore our vision. We can restore our vision. So using technology, we could overcome an obstacle which was presented to us by in the normal course of time. So this is our effort, humans effort, which are directed towards the thought that we can control everything. Humans, everyone effort directed towards the thought that we can control everything, we can determine our future, we can create our future. Whatever we want, we can achieve it. Whatever appears to be not in our control, it can be controlled. Now this is human, and science actually became a tool for this thought to provoke this thought or to progress this thought further, take this thought further. Is that true? Is that not? Let's understand the two school of thoughts that exist. The karmavad, where we believe that action determines result. There is a perfect relationship between action and the results that we get. There is nothing like destiny that exists. There is nothing like God's intervention that exists. There is nothing that we cannot achieve if we work hard. Now, this is a school of thought, and a lot of people we see around us, or we ourselves might be belonging to this school of thought, where we believe that we can't. There is nothing that I cannot achieve if I don't work hard. There's nothing impossible. Is nothing. That a lot of those quotes, management quotes, or the motivational quotes that we see are depicting this theory that there is a perfect relationship between action and the result that you get. If your result is not good, your actions must be faulty. So rectify your action, you will get the result. There is nothing, so no rocket science in that. So no intervention of anybody else. It's all you that is responsible. So this is karmavad. Vad means in general a debate, a point of debate, a point of view, a very strongly propagated point of view. That is vad. Daivavad is where the people believe that results are completely destined. Results are completely destined. There is nothing in our control. There are the results are not in our hand at all. Everything is predestined. Nothing is in our control. That is the propagation by Daivavad. Bhagavad Gita tell us about that. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that the God tell us about the existence of the God, and considers that not, but still considers that not everything is predestined. Bhagavad Gita teaches that the God exists. There is a role that God will play in our life, but everything is not predestined. Everything is not predestined, which means Bhagavad Gita actually gives us directions. Do this, don't do this. Bhagavad Gita encourages us in many verses, in many chapters, it gives us very clear directions what to do, what not to do. Control your mind. Don't let your mind control you. Control your senses. Don't let your senses cut loose, because then they can drag your mind. Uncontrolled senses can drag your mind, can destroy you. Overcome lust. Lust is the enemy, eternal enemy of a person who is trying to develop spiritual knowledge. Um, culture knowledge, cultivate knowledge. So Bhagavad Gita gives so many instructions throughout 700 across 700 verses. uh, why it is giving instruction? It is giving instruction because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna knows that everyone has capacity to choose. Everyone's life is not predestined. Everyone can has a free will to do or not to do certain things, which means we have capacity to choose. We always have choice. There are choices in front of us. There could be impulse that is pushing us towards one particular choice, but we always have a choice. We always have a choice. An alcoholic always has a choice whether to take the bottle of alcohol and drink it or not. A person holding a knife always has a choice whether to use it for murdering somebody or to to use it for cutting fruits and offering it to God. Everyone always have a choice. Bhagavad Gita explains us this aspect. Now let's take an example from Ramayana, where we understand that how there was a confusion. The things are not very clear in real life. So there was a confusion. This is a famous incident from Ramayana when Lord Ram was to be coronated on the following day. It was declared in the entire city was being prepared for the coronation ceremony of Lord Ram. And the night before that, Manthara spoke with Kaikai and told her that this is plan, evil plan of Ram and Kausalya. They are executing now. He will become king. Bharat will become his servant. Kausalya will become her Maharani, Pattarani, and you will become her servant. So what are you doing? Wake up, you fool! And Kaikai start listening to her and actually believes in Manthara. And then she goes to the Maharaj Dashrath and says, Maharaj, I saved you in a war. I helped you in a war against demons, and by driving your chariot in a moment when you were very injured badly. You remember you gave me two moons. Um, I think this is the right time for me to ask for those two boons. Maharaj Dashrath agrees, and then she asks that I wish for Bharata to be installed in place of Ram as king, next king, and Ram should be sent to the forest for 14 years of life. He should leave immediately. Bharat was not in Ayodhya at that time. Now Ram was called and he was given this message by Kaikai herself. And then she insisted that Lord Ram, you're descendant of Surya Vamsha. So you're belong to a very, very, uh, very famous dynasty, a very reputed dynasty. And your father is weak, has become weak. But it is your duty to protect his word. He has given me a word. I have asked for the boons, and now it is your duty to execute that order of your father. Don't become weak. You have given me word, your father has given me word. And you belong to a kula which has such a great reputation of great people who are born in this kula. So don't so you follow on your words, do as you have said. So let Bharata um, so everything can be arranged and you should go to the forest instantly, immediately. Now from Ram's point of view, Lord Ram's point of view, he's there is no mistake of his. Now everything appeared to be in order up till the time when before Kaikai spoke with him like this. uh, Everything was in order. He was the most dearmost son of Bharata. He was loved by all his mothers. He was loved by the entire citizens. All citizens used to love Lord Ram. He was such an adorable person that he didn't had any haters, and he was most competent. He was most capable. He was most knowledgeable. So he was indeed he was indeed deserving to become the next king. Dashrath wanted him to become king. Entire Praja wanted him to see as their king, and all of his brothers wanted him to become their king. All of his mothers wanted him to become his king. So there is no stopping. And suddenly, from order, it leads to chaos. Suddenly, he see chaos in his life. On tomorrow morning, I should be coronated as next king. Instead, I'm being asked to go to forest right now, before even break of the dawn. So Lord Ram agrees to go to forest, accepting the desire of his father, accepting he's bound also by the duty of as a son. He's perfect human being. So Ram agrees to go to forest and to keep the word of his father. Now Lakshman is outraged and expresses his anger. He says, um, only there has been no fault of yours in this. This mess is created by our father, and let him clear it. You are not going anywhere. I will ensure that you become king tomorrow morning. Whoever will come in between, I will kill them. I will, even if it is he's our father, I will not care. You are not going anywhere. You have no fault. It's of no fault of yours for which you have been punished to go, you have been sent to the forest. He says something very significant. Only cowards accept injustice as destiny. Heroes fight against the injustice. It's very brave statement, isn't it? Very appealing statement. Yeah, this is how probably Indian Bollywood heroes would do this. And uh, and he says this is there's a big debate dialogue that happens conversation that happens between the two brothers, and ultimately Rama convinces Lakshman that how it is important for him to do his duty, his Maryada Purushottam Lord Ram. So now look at this pastime, look at this whole pastime not from the point of view of Lord Ram being Lord Ram. If we consider him to be Lord and this to be his Leela, then we'll not be able to learn much out of it because he is Lord. But if you consider him to be a normal human being and try and analyze the actions taken by him, you will see that he was duty centered and hence he accepted to follow the desire of his father. He seems to be advocating Daivavad because in the conversation he actually says that there is no fault of me for which this result has come. General belief is that action leads to reaction. If I have a scar on my head, and when I come back, immediately everyone will ask me what happened because this scar on the head doesn't just come automatically. If you go to a doctor and tell him that your stomach is upset, he will ask what you ate last night because he understands that there has to be we generally all of us function in the with the belief that there is a perfect cause and effect relationship that exists, but in this case we can't find one. There is no cause for which this effect has come, no visible cause for which this effect has come. So Lord Ram understand that this is the will of the Almighty, this is the will of destiny, and hence he chooses to do what his father telling him to do. It doesn't mean that this is Lord Ram is promoting Daivavad. Lord Ram is promoting telling us to do your duty in every situation. In every situation, you will have some duty to be done, and that you should do. Because when later Mother Sita was kidnapped, Ram didn't say that if it's the will of the destiny that Sita be kidnapped and she becomes Ravana's wife. There, the duty of husband is what was he doing? He fought a war with Ravana. He did everything in his control to gather a large army, go to Lanka, fight a war, declare and fight a war against Lord Ravana, kill Ravana with his entire family, entire army, and then win back his wife. So he did all that. He didn't say that if it is Sita's destiny to be kidnapped, so be it. I will do nothing. He was doing his duty in every situation. When he was going to forest, he was doing his duty. When he was fighting a war with Ravana, also he was doing his duty. Saying everything is in our hand is wrong, but saying everything is destined is also wrong. It is irresponsible, in fact. So where is the reality? The reality or the reasonable reality lies somewhere in between. The modern idea of saying that we will make our own destiny, we will work hard and we will achieve everything. By my hard work, I have achieved all my success. Everything. These are all very appealing ideas. They are all more modern ideas, very appealing idea. Science sounds to be very empowering, but there's a problem in this with these ideas as they propagate karmavad. It is actually seriously disempowering. It sounds to be empowering, but in reality, it is disempowering. Why? Let's consider this. When I consider myself to be the sole architect of my success, I also become the sole reason to blame for my failure. We'll say this again. When I consider myself to be the sole architect of my success, I also become the sole reason to blame for my failure. So when I fail despite of my best effort, despite of trying hard, I consider I am a failure. Something wrong with me only. I am wrong. Not that I have failed. I am a failure. Says how how our mental thought process will get developed eventually. Most mental problems actually exist today because of this, because of the denial of destiny's role in our life. Because most mental problems exist today because we believe that is everything is in our control. I should be able to control everything, all factors. And when most often this will not happen. When that doesn't happen, our mind starts malfunctioning. Our mind start blaming our own self for the failure. Eventually the mind will label ourselves as failure. So unwillingness to accept reality of existence of destiny and the role that it is playing in our life um, will lead to a disaster in our life, can lead to a disaster in our life. And this will the so the destiny has a role to play. You know, sometimes she will be destiny will be favorable to us. Sometimes they may not. Destiny may not be favorable to us. But nevertheless, they have a role play to play. It has a role to play. S Take for an example, we might be fully prepared to go out for an important meeting, and but a storm comes and we can't go. We can't go even out of our home. If now there is no fault of ours, there's no fault of ours, and for that we shouldn't blame ourselves. Similarly, the other extreme is also not accurate. Over dependence on destiny is also not correct. Let's take an example: a South American tribe, uh, which was very much against the Western Christian aggressors who were trying to expand Christianity in America. So there were some priests who entered, became part of that tribe saying that we want to preach, and then with the name of God, they established a church. They started telling they were started helping people of the tribal area, and kind of got mixed with them, became very friendly with them. And they, after become going close to them, they realize that this tribe has a belief that if a horse comes, if a horse comes charging into the tribe, into their village, at the stroke of midnight on a full moon night, of on a full moon night, if a horse without rider come charging into their village, they this tribe had a belief that this is something not good omen. And if any war were to happen immediately after such sign, they will lose that war. And the Christian priest, they got to know this. They informed the Spanish army, and next day, the Spanish army arranged for such a horse to be sent to this village, and everyone saw that, and everyone felt very very depressed, very very demoralized, thinking that if at all a war were to happen immediately now, they are going to lose that war. They just believed, they just made up their mind that they are going to lose that war even when there was no signs of war. Next day, a small Spanish army actually approached this tribe, and though the tribe was large in number, they simply surrendered. because thinking that the last night we saw that horse came running into our village, and next day morning this army has come, and they are inviting us to fight a war, and this war we are going to lose. What's the point in fighting? And then they just go and surrender and just convert themselves into the Christianity. So this is taking the role of destiny to another extreme. The one extreme we believe that everything is in our control, on another extreme we believe that nothing is in our control, and therefore this tribe, even though they were outnumbering the army, they were large in number, they could have fought a war and still lost, but they they refused to fight only, and they simply surrendered, um, thinking that they will lose. Now this was taking this to another extreme. So now we've been using a lot of words, the karma and the daiva. So let's understand these two words a little bit more in detail. The karma means action. Karma, by karma, the word karma has multiple meanings. We discussed four meanings of karma, word karma, in this particular section. Karma, simple karma word means action. Any action. So, in our analysis of karma, destiny versus duty, we are referring to karma predominantly as action. Karma is also referred to as many by many people as a reaction. Means somebody some may say that I'm suffering my own karma, which means they're actually saying that they're suffering the reactions of their karma. So karma can sometimes be referred to as reactions also, the fruits of our action also. So karma is action, karma is also referred to as reaction, and karma is also used to indicate the system of action and reaction. So for every action there will be a reaction. Now this is a system, and so the cause and effect, there is a system. So this system is established. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate samachara. uh, Krishna says, under my supervision this is functioning, this whole thing is functioning. So the system of justice that is established by Krishna, which is functioning in the material world, is also called karma. The karma is also referred to indicate that system of justice. In the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, karma is used, karma, vikarma, and akarma. The three terms are defined in the fourth chapter, and here karma is indicated to mean pious activities, because karma is then compared with vikarma. Vikarma, which means bad actions, and akarma is spiritual actions which don't give any reactions. So in this particular case, karma is used with a narrow meaning of pious actions, good actions, spiritual actions, something good, not spiritual but pious actions. So then, what is destiny? What is destiny? So in physics, we have physics explains the laws governing the interaction of matter, the laws of nature that we call law of gravity, where the physics laws governs interactions of matters. And because matter is not conscious, they can be calculated and expressed with mathematical expression equations. So when physics, we calculate a law of gravity, uh, or any other law, action reaction, all the laws can be accurately calculated, can be accurately expressed in terms of mathematical equations, because because there is no involvement of consciousness. The moment we have consciousness involved in our interaction, which is the law of action and reaction, law of karma. For every action there is a reaction. This is the law of karma. However, the performer of the action is actually a conscious being. It's a conscious being. So now this conscious being has a free will, has a capacity to choose, and therefore the things becomes little complex here. Whereas physics law, the laws of nature, laws of material world works very accurately, but we don't see same accuracy when it comes to laws which includes humans. which includes the living entities. And so there, that's why we cannot be they are not they are indicative that we'll say later in equation that karma plus daiva plus kala is equal to phala. That the phala, the fruit of the result that we get, is nothing but a sum total of karma plus daiva plus kala. But there is this is only an indicative equation. It's not a very accurate equation. Just like mathematical calculations that we do for calculating gravity, calculating, predicting our sunrise, predicting sunset, and so on and so forth. So many things, all physics laws are actually calculated and they work every time because they don't involve conscious being. But whenever the conscious being comes into the play, who has a free will, uh, the things become a little complex. So if there is an action, there will be reaction. This is the equation, but the reaction to our action is not that simple. There can be a lag. There can be staggering reactions. So that we may not get instant reaction. We may get staggering reaction. We may get reactions after a while. Crop grow after a while. A crop, when a farmer plow the land, sow the seed, rain comes, and in a month's time or a 2 month time, the crop will grow. So it takes a while. So immediately the seed is sown, the harvest doesn't come, the fruit doesn't come. But a seed we may sow seed of a mango tree, and it may be years before we start getting fruits. Mango tree may grow over years to become a big tree, and then may start giving fruit. So the duration can be much longer. So every action we perform is like a seed that we are sowing, for which will eventually produce a reaction or a fruit. But the timing will be different. A child may put hand in fire. Reaction is immediate. Immediately there will be burning sensation, and there will be you need to apply cream and everything. So the reaction is immediate, the learning is also immediate. But sometimes the reactions are immediate, but sometimes you may eat six ice creams now, and while eating one after another, you may feel nice, but few hours later, you may have a sore throat, or next day morning you will have a sore throat. So the reaction is delayed. Sometimes we eat too much, and we eat too much regularly for too longer time, and eventually we put on weight. When they argue uh, that while eating, there is a period during the period when we are actually doing the action, and we not yet got the result. Now this period, when the reactions are stored yet to come, they are stored somewhere. So those stored reactions are can be referred to as destiny. So destiny is nothing but sum total of actions that we have done, but for which a reaction is yet to be delivered to us. So the pending reaction is destiny. And as we live our life day to day, as we get the results, we are delivered those small portions of our destiny in smaller installments. So it is a reaction of our own past karma delivered to us from time to time. It is not somebody else's karma being delivered to us. There's no mistake in the law of karma. So destiny is ours. It's all ours. We just accept it. We function assuming cause and perfect cause and effect relationship. Now we discuss, if you get a scar on the head, people will ask what will happen. But so there is in often time there is a relationship is visible. Oftentimes this relationship is visible. You're doing something and you are immediately inquiring what is the immediate cause of it, and you most of the time, many times you get to know about that cause. Like if AC is not working, or the lights goes off suddenly, I may go and check that what's wrong. Somebody must have switched off the main, because of which the lights are gone. So it's all it's not one is not doesn't immediately there's no need for us to immediately trigger the remote cause, the destiny. Not no need to bring in destiny for every event. So if light goes off, I will check if I have not paid the bill, if my main is gone off, or if there is a power cut that's happening. There will be some immediate cause that I can trace to. But sometimes there is no apparent immediate cause visible. Sometimes we eat normally, but we still get stomach upset. Sometimes some people eat lot of things, but they never put on weight. So the cause and effect relationship is missing. Now, whenever such scenario comes up, we should know that there could be a role of destiny involved in this. Because we assume there is a perfect correlation between cause and effect. Uh, there we ask a question, why it's happening, why it's happening like this, why bad things are happening to the good people. uh, because we underlying principle is that we assume it should not, we have an understanding that good action should lead to good results. But when sometimes suddenly good people seems to be getting bad reactions, we ask a question that why should bad thing happen to good people? Because of our underlying assumption of perfect cause and effect relationship. But we should understand that um, that's not always the case. That will always not be the case. When we don't see normal cause and effect correlation, we don't say that it's all happening by chance. We go deeper and analyze it more. We go deeper to analyze it more. Suppose we are taking a car from going from Mumbai to Delhi. So the car we may get is like our body, our family, our looks, and some have good bodies, some have good cars, some have not so good cars. Some car could be damaged, some car could be not so good looking. Some cars can be very good looking, very desirable. But all of us can have a car, and uh, the weather we get on our we may start driving now, somebody may start driving one day later, and so on and so forth. So weather that we are going to get uh, is fixed. So the type of body that we get and type of weather we will experience during the course of our life, they are destined, they are determined by the destiny. And sometimes we'll get good reactions, sometimes we will get bad reactions, so on and so forth. So there will be things out of our control happening with us. We will continue to get those, experience those. But what is still in our control is how we choose to drive a car. Suppose if we get a weather forecast that we will have a rough weather, a stormy weather, a lot of rains, and during that weather also, if we choose to drive very fast in a rash way, we can meet with an accident. But if we know the weather is going to be stormy, it's going to rain very heavily, there will be fog, I may also choose not to drive in a rash way. I may choose to drive slowly, cautiously. And that case, I may reach my destination in a safe way. So my free will always exists. My free will is to to decide on whether to drive fast or drive slow or drive cautiously. So I will always have my free will. So that is the best part of this learning this whole theory. So the karma plus daiva plus kala is a follow can be also understood by way of a farmer. Farmer must say sow the seeds by plowing the land. That is his karma. The rain will come on time in right quantity. That is daiva. That's not in farmer's control. And passage of time has to happen before the harvesting time comes when he can get the reward for his action. So that is kala. So doing our karma or duty should be our focus of life. If you don't do duty, thinking that the no rain will come, then even if it will rain, it will only grow weed. It will just grow wasteful material. Will not be able to sell anything out of it. But if we do our duty and still rain doesn't come, that is because of the destiny. If you have done our duty but no rain comes, you still don't get the crop. In the first instance, also, you're not getting crop. First instance, you never perform your activity, you never perform your duty of farming, and but the rain came and the weed grew, and you're not getting any price for the weed. So you don't get the crop. Second case, uh, you did your part. You did tried your whatever you were to be doing, whatever you were supposed to do. You already done that. You're plowing the field and the sowed the seed. Everything is done. Now you are waiting for the rain, but no rain comes. That is destiny. Again, no crop will be there. But that destiny, that is determined by not by your inaction, but by destiny. Destiny is action. There's an intervention of destiny. You just simply have to accept that. But um, but thinking that no rain will come, there should not be lethargy on the part of the farmer not to do the his duty. So in both cases we may not get harvest, but in first case, we are not to blame. We have done our, we have second case, we have done our part. First case, we are to be blamed when we think that no rain will come, therefore I will not do farming only. It is wrong. Scriptures don't tell us that. Scriptures want us to work. So doing karma should be the focus of our life. When we see, let's see how we can relate this with Krishna. So when we see cause produce result, there can be a question that why bring somebody else? If you see cause, see the effect, and why you are blaming somebody something else which is not visible, not controllable. For example, when plague outbreak happen in India or everywhere, lot of people used to say that this is will of the Lord. Um, this is caused by evil. Evil is spreading. Corona time also. A lot of people believing that this is evil is causing this corona to get created and to be spread throughout the world. So evil is spreading. So the role of evil is so a lot of people believed in that, but science declined it. They didn't believe in, they said, let me go to the root cause. Can I find some immediate cause for this disease? And then they realized that the rats are causing carrying some germs in around that time, and because of those germs this disease is being spreading. So when they cured the immediate cause, the disease was controlled. Now, one may believe that, wow, that's great. So, wherever there is an immediate cause available, it should be resolved. It's not that Vedic texts or Vedic wisdom declined this reality. So the material problems we make exist, but material problems will exist and continues to exist. Even in earlier times they were there, today they are there, and tomorrow also they will continue to be there. So these problems exist, and material problems should be, we should offer material solutions for material problem. We should solve our material problems by material means. So this is perfectly all right. In Ayurveda, with earlier times, Ayurveda was developed to solve such material problems. The disease condition happened because of the imbalance of chemicals, kapha, vata, pitta. So Ayurveda, by balancing, restoring the balance, health was restored. So Ayurveda didn't say that your health is bad because of your bad karma. Ayurveda, they didn't say that. A mother, when the child start crying, a mother is not supposed to say that you're crying maybe because of your past karma. You are burning your bad karma. She is duty bound. We should be doing what is our duty. A mother's duty is to take care of the child. So without thinking of what is child's past karma, or is or was, she should be duty bound to take care of the child. A king may a person may go to a king saying that he was robbed. Now king may say that, oh, that was your destiny to get robbed. No, that's wrong. King has to do his duty. King's duty is to protect all citizens, and he has to do his duty. But despite of all his best effort, if he's unable to catch the thief and restore, give him back his belonging, that's destiny. But king has to do his duty. Similarly, we all have to do our duty without overly thinking about the destiny. But we should accept the role of destiny also, because after doing, if things still don't, uh, things are not as we want, we should accept them by understanding that the role of destiny also exists. So there is always a you know there is always immediate cause, and that has to be addressed wherever we encounter a problem, wherever we encounter a situation which is not as per our liking, which is not what we want. So immediate cause should be addressed, should be found out, should be researched and addressed. And many of our problems actually might get solved at the level of immediate cause only, but not all. Why? Let's take an example of a billiard game. A billiard is a game where you see a snooker table where you see, if you take a close-up view of that table or from top overview, you will see that there are sticks and there are balls, and sticks are hitting the balls, and the ball is traveling in different directions and hitting the hitting other balls, and those balls are going into the holes. So if you ask to explain what is this all about, it can all be explained by way of laws of physics. That there is a stick which is moving at this velocity, hitting by this force on the ball. The pressure is being applied. The pressure causes the movement of ball from place A to place B. At this angle, it hits the another ball, and it creates such an angle that takes it direct it to the hole, and it goes into the hole. Now this is a explanation, this is an explanation based on physics law, and this is a valid explanation. So if I'm hitting wrong angles, I'll not be able to hit those balls into the holes in the snooker game. So the immediate cause, when it is available, it should be addressed. However, we should not also ignore the remote cause. The remote cause is these sticks are not moving on their own. The sticks are held by people who are expert, who have practiced this for years, who are having desires of hitting those balls into those holes, and they have the required skills for the same. So this aspect um, should not be declined as well. While we understand the immediate cause, this remote cause also has to be understood. There will be water is spilled on the floor. Someone while walking, they may walk that area and may fall down and broke their leg, or some part of their body. Some other person may go from the same place, same time, and may fall down but may escape with couple of scratches. Nothing major may happen. So there is an element of doubt that gets created when we see the same action does not lead to the same reaction amongst two people. Now, there comes a question mark, that is law of karma real? Is law of karma working properly? So the answer is yes. And this is where the role of destiny comes into play. So there is an immediate cause which is there in both the cases. The first person fell down because of the water. Second person also fell down seeing that water, because of there was a water. However, the reaction that first person is getting are far more in quantity. Because he's broken his leg and he will be in plaster for next couple of months, whereas the reactions are which are received by the second person are very minor. He's just escaping with couple of scratches here and there, which may get healed in 2 to 3 days time. So uh, so so if there is an immediate relationship, there is an immediate relationship, immediate cause that can be found out for a problem. The second level uh, need not be invoked. However, it cannot be denied also. So the modern science deals with the issue of immediate, deal with all the issues at immediate level, and in recent times, science has done a phenomenal work in this field, addressing the issues at a immediate level. But we should not deny intermediate cause, which is uh, which cannot be solved by science. If uh, if basically the Japan is prone for earthquake, known to be prone for earthquake. What can science do? Science can predict with its research when that earthquake is likely to come, to what magnitude it will be. Science can also help them build homes which don't get so much damage, even if there is an earthquake, which can be restored very quickly. Science can help us provide aid on a very fast speed. than otherwise, and so that those who get affected by earthquake, they can be rescued and relieved. But science per se cannot stop preventing an earthquake to happen. That is not in science's control. So that is destiny. That is controlled by the destiny. When and how, to what, how much magnitude an earthquake might come is actually destined. And if you happen to be there, you will suffer. So science can help us in some ways, but not always. And here definitely things, there will be always things which are beyond the control of a science. So the question, and one should accept those things when they are delivered to us. So there could be a question as to what role Krishna play in this entire duty destiny drama. Now Krishna is God, but he's not always directly involved. Karma is a system of justice that is created by Krishna himself, but he's not personally involved in this system. Now Krishna says, "Sammoham sarvabhuteshu name dvesho sena priyaha." Uh, So I am equal to all the living entities. I do not hate or do not love anyone particular. Because he has to treat his all his children equally. So, but 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 he says I deliver fruits to everyone as they deserve, and basis of their own karma. So he's not uh, uh, so he's equal to everyone. He does not have a revenge mentality against anybody, and but whatever fruits he's delivering to all of us through the system of law of karma, through the justice system, is are our own reactions that are now becoming getting fructified. So Krishna is neither happy when we get good result, and neither become sad because of which, when we get a bad reactions. So Krishna is equal. He's udasina. Krishna says in 9.9 that I'm udasina. I'm acting as if I am neutral. Acting as if I'm neutral while delivering the fruits of action to the different people in different qualities and quantities. So Krishna is neither Krishna is not uninterested, but he's disinterested. Uninterested means he's not concerned about us. No, he's concerned. He's completely very much interested in all of us. Therefore, he's continuing to accompany us as a Paramatma in our heart. So Krishna will never leave us. Krishna will always remain with us. No matter, even if we travel from human body to a stool's body, insect's body, he will always going to be there. So So Krishna is very much interested in us, but he's disinterested means he is detached from us. He's allowing us to exercise our free will and accordingly get good and bad karma. He's not forcing us to act in a good way alone. He's giving us both the choices, and he's expecting that using the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we will make the right choice. That is his expectation. And so he's not disinterested, but he's detached, he's udasina, because if we choose to repeatedly do wrong actions and for which we are given wrong results, Krishna is delivering those results through the system of law of karma, but he's not enjoying delivering you bad reactions. He's not enjoying uh, the suffering that come upon people as a result of karmic reactions. So Krishna is not uninterested, but he's disinterested. Like umpires on the cricket field, want is watching everyone and everything that is happening on the cricket field, but he does not have vested interest in the particular team winning or losing. He's doing his duty in a detached way. Whoever is right, he will do take their side. If he feels that the batsman has made a mistake and he's wrong, he's out, he will give his decision to be out. And when the batsman is sometimes everyone appeals, but the batsman is but he feels that the batsman is not is not at fault, then then he gives a decision as not out. He is not interested in winning of a particular team. Is not does not have vested interest in the whole process. Let's understand this aspect by way of example from Mahabharata. and then we will go for the question and answer. There are the, before the war, what to happen. Vidura has always been advising Dhritarashtra. Vidura was his minister in his Rajya Sabha, and then he was always advising, giving good counsel to Dhritarashtra. And he was encouraging Dhritarashtra to control Duryodhana's ambitions, to control Duryodhana. He said, if you'll not control him now, it can lead to the destruction of the entire dynasty, entire your Kula can lead to a big war, and in which you can just lose everything that you possess today. So control, if they want five villages, give them, convince Duryodhan to avoid war in some way or other way. So Dhritarashtra used to counter argue, saying that if it is destined that my Kula, all my sons get killed, if it is destined that this war were to take place and all these people, all these armies and all my sons and my relatives were to die in that war, if it is destined, who am I to stop it? I'm such a small, tiny mortal soul. How can I stop destiny? If it is will of the Almighty for war to happen, who am I to stop it? Now, Vidura, this is called rational lies. This is called rationalizing our theory, presenting it in such a way that it may seems very logical, but these are lies. These are lies spoken in very rational way. So these are rational lies. Why? Because Vidura, as Vidura explains, that destiny is a result, consequences of your action, not actions by themselves. Destiny doesn't determine action. Destiny determines the consequences of your action. I am asking you to take the action. Do your duty as king. Duryodhan is subordinate to you. Give him order, and then you would have done your part for avoiding the war. Today, you are taking shelter of Duryodhana's ambition and destiny, the understanding of destiny, wrong understanding of destiny that you have, and you're allowing this war to take place, which will eventually destroy your entire dynasty, your entire kula. So destiny determines the consequences of our actions, not the actions by themselves. So this is where Vidura draws the line, and he chastises Dhritarashtra very heavily, saying that don't blame the destiny, do your duty. Initial and in some other incidents, there was Yudhishthir becomes very morose, very sad after the war. After the war, he's performing Anteshti, Antim Sanskar to all the warriors who have been killed, who were killed in last 18 days. And Yudhishthir becomes extremely sad, thinking him to be the cause of all this destruction. Heaps and heaps of bodies were burnt, and everyone was offering jala, water for the departed souls. Krishna himself was present and doing the same thing. And there Yudhishthir says that uh, everything, I am the root cause of all this destruction because I could have avoided this. I wanted kingdom and I wanted to fight, and because of me, this whole war has happened, and I am responsible. So I will not become the king because I don't deserve it. Now, a lot of people tried to persuade him by different means, but they all fail. Even Lord Krishna can't speak console Yudhishthira. So Krishna decided to send him to Bhishma, who is who was lying on the bed of arrows and who was about to leave his body soon. So Yudhishthir with folded hands approach Bhishma, and then Bhishma gives him instructions that everything, if it is everything, nothing in your life, you have suffered so much. You've been the most righteous people. You've been the most righteous people. You've been the most sattvic people, the most dharmic people. And despite of that, despite of being so great, you ended up suffering so much in your entire life. And now also, you had to fight a war for getting a kingdom which was your rightful kingdom of Indraprastha. So, so Bhishma told Yudhishthir that all that is happening because it is the will of your destiny, because it is the will of that Almighty, for whom all this is happening. So accept it, mitigate it, and tolerate it. There's nothing that you can do. It's don't blame yourself. And this was spoken after the war, not before the war. Before taking necessary action, this was not told to Yudhishthir. So after the war, Bhishma accordingly consoled Yudhishthir, and then Yudhishthir Maharaj agrees to accept the throne. To summarize, while acting, we discuss about just to summarize, and then we'll go to the question answers. So while acting, now we discuss about we started our class by saying that is everything in our control, and so this is one extreme, and nothing is in our control is another extreme. So there are two extremes, and reality is somewhere in between. There are things in our control, and there are things which are not in our control also. So things in our control, we must do. Things in our control, there will always be something that we can do in every situation, and we must do that. As a matter of duty, with detachment, we should do this. Now, in general, we see a cause and effect relationship, but at times we don't find that cause and effect relationship. We just get a result for which there is no apparent cause. It could be good or bad or ugly, but for which we can't see a cause. Then we understand the role of destiny. We accept the role of destiny in our life also. Wherever the cause and effect relationship is visible, wherever immediate cause is visible, we must go and fix it. In modern times, it is done in a phenomenal way. In earlier times, also, it was recognized. Not everything to be blamed on destiny. Ayurveda was there, always was there, and there were. So, if there is an imbalance which is causing discomfort to the body, you should be treating it, not blame it to the destiny and do nothing. You should treat it. So, even in earlier times, the acceptance of immediate cause, the existence of immediate cause and rectification of that cause leading to the solving of our problem was accepted and was also practiced. In today's time also, we say see that wherever there is an immediate cause that is available, that should be investigated and fixed, so that we start getting the results that we want. But there will always be cases, times, situations when we will this there is no immediate cause available. I've been eating very normally, normal food, not traveling also. Everything seems fine, but suddenly my health break down. My stomach gets upset. Suddenly, I've never smoked in my life. I've never drank alcohol in my life, but I can suddenly get diagnosed as with cancer. And there could be some people who are smoking, drinking alcohol, and they still can go on living till the age of 70, 80, 90 without getting diagnosed as cancer. So there will be situations when we don't see a one-to-one correlation between the cause and the effect. So those are the situations where the destiny role of destiny comes into the play. We should accept it and we should agree with it. Not that there's nothing that we can do now. If we get diagnosed with cancer, we can still do our part. We can still do our whatever medication that can be prescribed. We can still see cancer as if we are spiritually spiritually advance, and we can see our sickness also as Krishna. Krishna uh, is Krishna's mercy, Krishna's grace, and Krishna's way of showing love to us. At an advanced stage, even that can be done. That is possible. So, Parikshit Maharaj saw the snake coming as Krishna to take him back to Godhead. Now, it is not that Krishna became snake and came and bit Parikshit Maharaj at the end of speaking Bhagavatam, but a devotee can have spiritual vision of all the material things, and that is not wrong. But at our level, we should find material reasons for material problems, and to the extent possible, we should fix it. When no such material reason exists, but the problem exists, the result exists, but there's no immediate cause, we should understand and accept the role of destiny in our life. We can still do something to mitigate the minimize the damage, but we should understand that it's all happening because of our bad karma. We the karma the destiny is nothing but a sum total of our unallocated karmas to us. It's a karma. Every karma is like a seed. Every seed has a fruit, and those fruits are delivered to us from time to time. And that is the undelivered fruits to us is nothing but the destiny, and they destiny gets delivered to us in due course of time. So we should be acting, uh, we should not be refusing to act in every situation. We should be acting, but at times, we can become, we need to accept the result as they are, because if we are getting bad results without our fault, we should accept it as a will of Almighty, will of destiny, will of God. And we can still, so in that situation also, we can do something to mitigate or to minimize or improve our situation to the extent we can, and we should do that. However, otherwise we can tolerate. We need to also learn to tolerate the situation, knowing that it is the will of God. So that is how we can deal with this topic from our real life point of view. So to summarize, while acting, one should be detached, not irresponsible. One should do one's duty very diligently, and but accept the results fully, knowing that the contribution of destiny also exists. The results are also caused by the role of destiny. That way we can always be peaceful and happy. We don't have to blame ourselves for all the failures that we may get. So we may, but we may not become lazy and lethargic so much so that we don't try at all. So we have to give our best. We have to do our task very diligently, and then accept whatever the outcome is as the will of the will of God, will of Krishna. So both karmavad and daivavad can be spiritualized. Both extremes are wrong. The reality lies in between, but both of they can be spiritualized. Karma can be done as a service, and daiva can be accepted as depending fully on Krishna, knowing that he can give us best of he can best out of worst situation, he can give us best. And if you are a devotee, we can this way we can spiritualize both karmavad and Daivavad. So this is acting in devotion without worrying about, without bothering too much about the Daivavad or Karmavad. So doing our duty to the best of our ability, and then accepting the results as will of Krishna. This way we can be peaceful, we can be happy, and that way we can perform our sadhana nicely. Sadhana is a morning japa from 4:45 to 7:30, and evening reading. Same Zoom link, evening reading session of Srimad Bhagavatam 30 minutes, and discussion on Bhagavad Gita 15 minutes. So we're concluding the discussion right now. The presentation is concluded. We'll wait for the questions to come now.
Prabhuji, I have posted a question in the chat. That's many times it happens that we do with a good intention, we do something good, and the result is also good, but the other person is not ready to understand that it's a good for them, or they blame us, curse us, or maybe hurt us sometimes as a result. So, how to deal with that in according to the scriptures, and what is right, how to deal that?
So basically, as long as we are doing our best in every situation, we are doing it with all good intention to the best of our ability. Uh, that's it. That's all what we have to do. At time it's like take for example of a child. A child may always want to play, but a mother will nevertheless make child play for some time and make child study for some time as well, because it is for their long term good. A child may feel restricted in his play, or he may hate his mother for pulling him back from the playground or garden wherever he was or she was playing. But despite of that, mothers will continue to do their duty. So if it is our duty, we should continue to do that. Yena kena prakarena, we should find different ways and means of of convincing the child that he or she should play for some time and study for some time, which is for his long term good. Sometimes people are not like children, they are not, we don't have a lot of control over them, but we still could have certain duties towards them. And there typically old parents, we can't really control them. Sometimes they are very favorable to us, and they can be very, they can be prepared to listen to whatever we speak. We tell them do this, sometimes they're just surrender to us, and they try and do that. They just become like they're our children. But at times parents can also become very obstinate, very adamant. And could be parent, could be our other in-laws, or could be anyone. And that time it becomes very difficult for us to deal. We may do certain things with a lot of good intentions, but the others people may not really agree. Again, we have to do our duty. As long as you have done your duty, you are happy, you are peaceful, satisfied that there is nothing else that you otherwise could have done more. And if the result is good, people may accept it, people may appreciate it, people don't appreciate it, that's also okay. Um but at least you are satisfied at your core that you have tried your best, you have done your part. And this is where the detachment actually becomes helpful. We have to be detached after doing our part. We have to be detached. We don't have to become detached before acting. That is irresponsibility. Thinking that the person may not appreciate my good work, I don't do only anything even when it is my duty to do, that is irresponsibility. That is something that we should not be doing. We should be careful not to do that. But we should do our part and be detached. Be detached. Even if it gets appreciated, we should be okay with that. Even if it doesn't get appreciated, we should still be okay with that. If as long as it is our duty to do that part, we should do that part. And especially with sometimes very old people, they curse everyone. Even if you go there and feed them with medicine, give them their medicine, they'll still curse you. Now it's not that they, but they're generally unhappy. So does it mean that because they curse me, I will go and I will stop giving them medicines? No. No matter which condition they could be in, and it is your duty as a child, as their daughter or their son, to take care of your parents till the last breath, and that is what you should do. Even if they appreciate it, at times they may not even appreciate it. We have to be duty centric, and if it is our duty to do certain things, we must do it, no matter if we get appreciated for it, or it nobody ignores it, people ignore it, whatever it be the outcome. In your core, in your heart, you will be very satisfied, you will be very peaceful that you have done your part. If it has not been appreciated, so be it. If it has been appreciated, so be it. Okay.
But many times, Prabhuji, that happens that you do good, they also understand it good, but sometimes it happens that both are ready to accept that whatever happened is good. But then in that case, whatever you did, whether though it was correct, but it still gives you some sort of results which are not favorable to you. Supposing you did something good for them and then you lost maybe because in serving your parents maybe, or may in-laws or some relatives, you lost your job. So that may feel that you have been lost, and many times it happens with women especially. Then taking care of the family, they lose out of the job, and then they feel regretted. Most of the time they feel irritated that we have lost so much. So in that case, what will work out best, and how we should take that as an opportunity to get connected to Krishna?
Yeah. So look at it this way. Every situation that you can ask the question, what is my primary duty? So primary duty could be in certain situations is to look after your parents or look after your in-laws. In certain situations, primary duty can be to go out and earn money. Also, there could be scenarios, where that can become your primary duty. So what is our primary duty? What that should be, that can be the driver of our activities. So if given a situation, if my primary duty is to look after I don't want my parents to die alone at home, being looked after by some servants while I'm enjoying party in my for my success, celebrating success for my some project. That would have been it will be a very horrible thing to have happened. So
Correct.
what is a primary duty? No, again, when I'm saying duty centric, we should be duty centric. We can ask this question to ourselves, and whatever is a priority, we should do that. In different situations for different people, different options may emerge. There's no one hat that will fit all heads, or one shirt that is fit every size. So in depending on the timeless circumstances, also in one's life, also these priorities can change, and so be it. That's how the dynamic nature of life is. So in one situation, you your presence in home was more important. You will probably consider leaving a job and working and spending more time at home to take care of your parents, in-laws, or small children. But there could be some other situations when when you contributing to the finances of the household is can be considered to be more critical, because given the nature of liabilities that you might have, financial distress that could be there in the home, or some so there could be various situations in which we may require that to have happen. And there could be some other situations when we are very comfortable, you can pursue your goal, your opportunity, you can pursue your career, you can try, because there is nothing else to do, you can try, go out and try excel in your field of excellence, or in your pursue your passions. Even those situations, those can become your priority. But we should understand there will always be a hierarchy in our options that are available to us, and we should be guided by the scriptures, or some devotees, to understand which is better, which is important, in and current stage of my life. This is a consultation, ongoing consultation, that we can do with devotees or our elders, to understand ourselves. At times we may make mistake. My attachment to my career could overpower my desire to serve my parents, and I may choose to go for career. uh, so if we are devotees, and if we are guided by devotees, then we will be uh, we will be shown the right priorities, and from time to time, and if we follow those, we will be peaceful, we will be happy, we can practice devotional service consistently, with commitment, and happily.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji, for wonderful question. So anybody, you can raise hand if anybody else has a question. So there could be questions you might have, and I'll be happy to get those questions offline as well. We can discuss those. Uh, can discuss those separately, and but I'll encourage
Prabhuji.
you to. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I have a question
Yeah.
that you said that we have to do our duty and destiny will have its own course of action. But when Arjuna had failed to do the war. He said he showed the Vishwarupa Darshan. He showed that Duryodhan is entering his fiery mouth, flames in the mouth. You are just Nimit Matra. So how should our attitude be? Like we are doing it, but do we have the ownership agency that we are doing it, or anyway he's already done it half-heartedly? So how should our attitude be in such situations?
So, in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna asked Krishna to show the Vishwaroop, Krishna also showed him the Kala Roop. Uh, Kala Roop is the manifestation of time. So Krishna says, I am time personified. And as a time, obviously Krishna knows past, present, and future. Um, and Krishna showed Arjuna visions of the future. Now, Arjuna's hesitancy was to kill his relatives, kill his loved ones. But Krishna showed that by the force of time they will always be killed, and I am that time, Kalosmi. And he when Arjuna saw that these people will anyway be killed and the time is now, and as a kshatriya, if I will fight, it can be beneficial to me because my there is nothing, no harm in fighting for on behalf of Krishna. So nimitta matra bhava savyasachi is what Krishna says to Arjuna. How it is relevant for us? Um, we we are becoming instruments. You know, in for example, a father is an instrument uh, to help his family become Krishna conscious. Krishna is using, as a father, is using me to help the other four souls in my three souls in my family. I have been entrusted with the responsibility for their Krishna consciousness. So here I am, Krishna is making me an instrument. Krishna, I don't belong. Wife, my wife belongs to Krishna. My children are also part and parcel of Krishna. I am part of parcel of Krishna, but for the time being, my family is being entrusted in my custody. It's a temporary custody given to me for taking care of them. So it is my duty to help become myself, become Krishna conscious, and help my family become Krishna conscious. Same goes for wealth. Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. Everything is owned and controlled by Krishna. All the opulence is belonging to Krishna. When I was not born with anything. But if today I am being put in possession of some opulence, I should know that it belonged to Krishna. So it should be used in his service in some way or the other. Therefore, while I will use things for my maintenance, my future, I will also use them for service of Krishna. We have knowledge, we have abilities, same everything goes for this, we become instrument. I have ability to speak, I would have studied Bhagavad Gita in past, I would have heard Bhagavad Gita classes from devotees in past. So now this is an opportunity for me to become an instrument so that all of you can we all can here discuss these topics together. So Krishna is not making me an instrument to deliver the message to all of you so that you can also become Krishna conscious. So, what is my role? My role is that of a servant. I am being made an instrument. I am not the doer. If the moment I start feeling that 50 people came and listened to me speaking, I will get it all wrong. It will not be purifying for me. Even though I spoke topic of Krishna, but why? Because it will give me pride. I speak so well. I must be I must be a very I must be a great speaker. All these people are my fans. If I can develop, if I end up developing these kind of thoughts in my mind after concluding a session, it could be purifying for all of you. It could be illuminating for all of you. It could be, but it will be damaging for me. I get degraded. I can get degraded by speaking about Krishna. Even though the topic of Krishna itself is all pure, by speaking that with wrong consciousness, I can get degraded. And by hearing it with right consciousness, all of you can get elevated. So for us to understand that everything, whatever we have, is gift of Krishna, and we can use it to the best of our ability for our own maintenance and for His service. Then we are properly placed. We will always remain humble in all our endeavors, be it family maintenance, be it professional achievement, be it wealth, earning wealth and accumulating wealth, be it becoming knowledgeable, be it becoming a servant of devotees. In all situations, we will remain humble. In our success, we will remain humble. In our failures, we will remain humble. uh, Thinking, knowing completely, trusting and knowing with conviction that everything belongs to Krishna, and I am just being played as an instrument. I will play my part. I will do my best of ability. Okay, Mataji? So, Meghna Mataji, hope that was all right. Let's see if there
Yeah.
are any questions. Yeah, thank you, Mataji, for a nice question. Some people take good care of health and still suffer from disease, while others are not so health conscious and disease free life. Yeah, we spoke about that. Yeah, so I don't think there are any questions in the chat box also. So thank you everyone for joining today's session, and it was and I'll encourage everyone to think about. I'll circulate the slides as well as the session recording today later, and kindly go through the slides. Can you think of your real life situations, and if there were any questions that anyone can come up with later also, feel free to reach out to me on WhatsApp or on by through direct call, and we'll be happy to discuss and help in any manner possible. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll conclude today's session. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन.
हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare
हरे कृष्ण
Krishna
प्रभु
Prabhu
जी
ji,
दंडवत
Dandavat
प्रणाम.
Pranam.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम. थैंक यू.
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण.
प्रभु
हरे
जी,
कृष्ण
दंडवत प्रणाम.
प्रभु जी
हरे
दंडवत
कृष्ण
प्रणाम.
प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम. थैंक यू फॉर द सेशन.